Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of the Overtraining podcast. My name is ParkerKerth. I will be your primary host. Actually, I think I will be your only host for this podcast. And now, since you probably didn't listen or watch the podcast trailer, yes, this will be in video as well as audio form. If you want to watch these episodes, then you can head on over to the YouTube channel, which will be linked in the description box of this episode and every episode following this one. But as I was saying, as you probably didn't listen to the trailer because I don't think anyone listens or watches those, I guess I'll start off with a little bit of an introduction to myself and to the podcast, kind of the content you can expect going forward. So to kick things off, as I mentioned, my name is ParkerKerth. I am an elite team member and a full-time senior coach with NVDM Coaching. I've been doing that for full-time for about 2 years now. Before coaching in triathlon full-time, I was actually a software engineer at Garmin. I worked in the outdoor wearables department, primarily the Phoenix line of watches. So if you ever have any Garmin-related questions, then you can drop a comment in the comments down below on YouTube or shoot me a direct message on Instagram. Speaking of which, social media, besides being a full-time triathlete and coach, I also have somewhat of a social media presence. I have an Instagram account, ParkerKerth. I'll have all these socials listed down below too, so if you want to check them out, then yeah, go check out the links. But as I was saying, I have an Instagram account. I also have a Strava account. That username changes pretty frequently depending on a lot of stuff. So I always change my Strava account name. And then what else do I have? I have 2 YouTube channels. My primary triathlon one is just called ParkerKerth, my name. However, I also have a second one that I do kind of just for fun. It's called Fast Foodies. I just do kind of fast food, snack reviews, ice cream reviews, cereal reviews. I actually started that one before I started the triathlon one. If you guys want to hear a story on that, then let me know and I'll tell you guys all about it. But along with those 2 YouTube channels, Instagram, Strava, I also have a separate podcast, the Tryhards podcast, which you guys should definitely check out. Don't worry, for those of you that listen to the Tryhards podcast, that one isn't going anywhere. I do that with my 2 great friends, Mike and Sade. We talk about triathlon stuff on there, training, races. We have guests come on there. It's a great time, so definitely check it out. I'll have that link down below. But that's pretty much all of the social media. Now you're probably asking yourself, Parker, you have all this social media, you already have a podcast, why are you starting another one? Why is it called Overtraining? Well, the reason why I'm starting a separate podcast is actually what has to do with what this podcast is going to be about. So my plan for this podcast is, hopefully, the plan is every Sunday night, I'm going to sit down in front of the camera. That's also kind of why I started this. I wanted another excuse to use my nice camera and microphone. I feel like a professional videographer. But as I was saying, every Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on how much training I have going on that weekend, I want to sit down in front of the camera, keep the episodes relatively short, so hopefully they'll be shorter than this one, although I didn't do too much training this week, so we'll see. But I want to sit down and literally pull up my training peaks and talk about my training. So I'll start on Monday of that week, and I'll literally go through every session. I love these kinds of podcast episodes on the different podcasts I listen to, when they have guests come on or professional triathletes talk about their weeks of training. Now I know I'm not a professional triathlete and my numbers aren't going to be that impressive. However, I like listening to it, and if I were a young age grouper, maybe this would be something you'd find of interest. So that's kind of why I'm starting it. So I'm going to talk about my weeks of training, and I'll talk about kind of goals I have for upcoming races. And then I also want to talk about sauna battles. I've been getting lots of positive feedback on my sauna battles on my Strava and Instagram. I've been posting those, so I'll keep posting those. But if I have a very exciting battle during the week, then I'll make sure to bring that up on this podcast. Now, in terms of guests, I don't plan on having too many guests on, but occasionally I think I will bring someone on just to switch it up, because as you'll see here as these episodes, or as we continue to do these episodes, my training does get kind of repetitive. And that's something I've really found to be not really a secret, but I don't know, something I didn't expect in triathlon training. You know, I always thought that workouts, to be the best, you have to have these super crazy, secretive sessions that no one can know about. You know, it has to be exactly 89.9% of FTP for 2 minutes and 33 seconds with 3 minutes and 2 seconds recovery at 43.4% FTP, and you have to do that 5.3 times, and you can only do that if your HRV is exactly 67 and your resting heart rate is at 38.5. It really isn't that complicated. You'll find here shortly that, you know, it really just does come down to the meat and potatoes and putting in the work. However, hopefully I'll be able to make it a little bit more exciting, and I do plan on sharing pretty much all the numbers. I don't like it when triathletes hide their numbers, and so I really don't want to do that. If there is anything specific you guys want to know about a specific workout, then yeah, drop a comment, go ahead, ask me, message me. I'm a pretty open book. I try to share everything on my Strava. Sometimes I forget to unhide it, but yeah, pretty much most of the key sessions are on Strava. Sometimes I just keep the easy volume hidden, but here on this podcast, I'll be an open book. I'll tell you guys everything. So I think that does it for an introduction. Mom, how'd I do?
I think very good.
Yeah? Yeah, maybe I'll bring my mom on too once she gets training for outdoor cross-country ski season. We just got a ski erg, and maybe my mom's going to start training on that. So maybe I can bring my mom on as a guest. She swam today. I'll bring her on as a special guest for this episode. How about that? Once I get to Sunday's training, we'll talk about your workout today. Yeah?
I can't talk as smooth as you. Need to practice.
This took me 10 takes to do, so hopefully the rest of the episode will go smoothly. But yeah, sponsors and whatnot. I probably won't play any ads unless I get super big and I can start making a lot of money. But you know, I have my team sponsors, Raw. You can use code NVDM to save on any Raw products. I'll have their website listed down below. That does help support me. Parker, code Parker was taken, so I chose NVDM. So yes, that does help me and this podcast. I really do appreciate it. Then also Kellemen, a new company I recently started working with. They make body wash, deodorant. We're also going to be coming out with Epsom salt bath bombs. I'm great friends with the owner, so we're trying to collaborate on new products. So you heard me, Epsom salt bath bombs. You can use code Parker to save on all Kellemen products. We have a lot of interesting stuff coming in 2025, so make sure to check those out. But I think that's going to do it for the ad section of this episode for this podcast. Anyway, let's get into it. So, episode 1 kicking off. Let's go pull up my training peaks and let's go to Monday. Now, this will be actually the first week of the year, not full week, but Monday of this week was December 30th. So I have Monday, December 30th pulled up. I should actually kind of backtrack to Sunday because Sunday we got back from Florida. We got in late. I didn't sleep well. I think my cousin, who was also in Florida, got myself and my grandma a bit sick. And then the travel and bad sleep, that just made everything worse. So I woke up Monday feeling pretty beat up. However, we had workouts on Training Peaks, so I was at least going to try them. The workout on Training Peaks was supposed to be a 4K recovery swim, the main set being a 30 by 100. And I did not do 4K. I ended up doing 400 yards. So I did 10% of the workout, a big fat yellow or orange to start off the week. I knew right when I got in that it was not going to happen. My form was off, and I knew I was going to be MIA for the rest of the week because I was getting my wisdom teeth pulled. And so motivation was already pretty low as it was. So I just called it. After 400 yards, I got out. I didn't even do the sauna that day. That shows you how unmotivated I was. So I got out after 5 minutes and 21 seconds, 400 yards. I guess, like I said, I'm going to be an open book. So average pace was, 120 per 100. It's actually not bad. Average heart rate was 105. I use the Form goggles with the heart rate, so it's usually pretty accurate. Then we had a 60-minute recovery spin to do on Monday. It went a little bit better than the swim, but not much. I ended up doing 20 minutes, actually 21 minutes and 8 seconds My average power was 177 watts, and my average heart rate was 110. Let's see, I have comments. My comment was, oof, yeah, dealing with something, legs were toast. Some good news, found a trainer I can use until mine comes, so we'll have access to TT bike once we get back into it. My trainer broke, so I bought a new trainer, but it's not going to come for a couple weeks. However, I'm borrowing my friend's trainer until then. But yeah, 21 minutes, 8 seconds, 7 miles, 7.69 miles, 10 TSS. So Monday didn't start off too well. And it didn't get much better the rest of the week. Tuesday, we didn't do anything because I got my wisdom teeth pulled. So I got my wisdom teeth pulled, and then, yeah, spent New Year's Eve laying in bed. I went to bed at 6 o'clock, and I slept terrible. I got like 4 hours of sleep. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday, we also didn't do anything. Took another day off. Yeah. Then moving on to Thursday, I attempted to ride my bike. I did 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh yeah, and also Wednesday was New Year's. So starting the new year off with a full rest day, which I don't think I have ever done. So that will be interesting to see how this year goes. Actually, I was watching a YouTube, or it was on Instagram, and someone literally did a marathon starting at 12:01 a.m. on New Year's, so they could say they ran the first marathon of the year. Maybe next year that's something I do. Anyway, as I was saying, Thursday, which was January 2nd, I tried to hop on the bike. And yeah, we did 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Like I said, I'm going to be an open book. So average heart rate, oh boy. Average heart rate was 118, max was 130, and average power was 140. So I quickly saw that the bike wasn't going to happen. However, I felt semi-decent, a little bit better than the day before. So we went for a walk, and let's see, we walked for I forgot to start my watch right at the beginning. It's 2 miles. We do the same route whenever we walk, so I know it was 2 miles. But on Training Peaks, it's logged as 37 minutes, 29 seconds, 1.83 miles, 5 TSS. And I'm sure you guys are all dying to know my average heart rate was 71 and 116 for that. But I didn't wear a chest strap for the walk, so take that with a grain of salt. Might not be too accurate. Also, fun fact, I gained 10 pounds in 2 days from the surgery. Luckily, it's coming down. It's finally, it's Sunday today, so it's finally coming back off. But yeah, I felt like it was rough. Friday, we finally got moving. I thought about going to the pool, but I could tell that form was still going to be off, and my form isn't good enough as it is, so why swim with even worse form? However, we got on the bike. We logged 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 44 seconds. Average heart rate was 111. Average power was 158. So that's all we did on Friday. Then Saturday, which was yesterday, we went to the pool. Swam. We actually ended up swimming 2,000 yards. I was going to do 2,200. I was planning on doing 3,000, but then we got kicked out by Aquafit. Average pace was 130. No real workout. My coach, Natasha, she's the owner of NVDM Coaching. She didn't load any workouts for me this week. She just told me to go off by feel. So that's what we did. Pretty much most of it was with fins or with paddles or kicking, lots of drills and whatnot, so nothing exciting. Average heart rate was 117, 32 minutes and 50 seconds for the 2,200 yard swim. And then we hopped on we did do the sauna. We did 25 minutes in the sauna, 25 minutes and 3 seconds. It wasn't that hot though yesterday. I do remember that. I was a little bit disappointed. Well, actually, it's kind of my fault. I didn't put the rags on the sensor to make it super hot. I did that on purpose though, because I didn't want to overcook myself. However, I'm happy to report that I actually felt pretty good in the sauna. So 25 minutes, and my average heart rate was 65, and my max heart rate was 97. I do wear a chest strap in the sauna, so that is pretty darn accurate. I also wore the core body temp sensor. So 12 heart rate TSS, so pretty solid session there. No fun sauna stories. There's a bunch of new guys, actually. I was surprised. I didn't really know anyone. I did see Tea Tree Pete in the pool. You guys will come to learn all the sauna members during the course of this podcast. But yeah, Tea Tree Pete. I call him Tea Tree Pete because in the sauna, he always brings a little vial of tea tree oil. I forget why he does though. I forget what he does with it. But yeah, Tea Tree Pete, and he swims all the time. He has these very distinct blue flippers. I actually saw him today in the pool too. He's going to California, I believe, for 2 weeks, so I will be missing him in the sauna. But it was good to see him in the pool. He had a good set, looked good. Anyway, and then we hopped on the bike for 1 hour and 10 minutes and 3 seconds. Average heart rate was 119. Power was 174, and I remember I had a -5 performance condition from Garmin. So, yeah. Then we ran 4 miles at a, what was the average pace? 8:51 average pace, so right around race pace actually. Really happy with that. Ironman race pace, that is. Maybe a little faster than race pace. I think, yeah, a little bit faster than race pace, but heart rate was 121, so a bit high. Not too bad though. And then I was actually going to do 5 miles, but I started chafing because I forgot to put Body Glide. This was on the treadmill. So we stopped at 4 miles. Plus, I think 5 miles on the first run back would have been a little bit much. Now, moving on to Sunday. Today, January 5th, we swam. Swam with my mom. Mom, do you want to come here? Talk about your swim? I swam 4,400 yards. Once again, similar to yesterday, lots of fins, kicking, nothing too exciting. Mom, how's your swim? You can use the mic if you want to. You can speak into this.
My swim was good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. How far did you swim?
70 laps.
70 laps. So what's? Hey Siri, what's 70 times 25?
1750.
1,750 yards my mom swam. Well, good job, Mom. That's more than a mile.
Yep.
That's 100 yards. A mile is 1,650. So you swam 100 yards more than a mile. There you go.
It's good.
Yeah, get in there. You swam freestyle too.
I did half freestyle, half breast.
There you go. I did notice though, my mom, I told her, she lifts both goggles out of the water when she breathes. She has to keep one eye in. All right. We have to get her on the ski erg soon. My dad just bought that for a birthday gift. I think he's logged more time on it than she has. But we did not hit the sauna today because I felt bad to keep my mom waiting. And instead, we went to a French bakery called Paris Baguette. If you want to find out what we got, then check out my YouTube channel. My fitness one, actually. We do a little food review on my fitness one. And then what did we do after that? We got back. I did some work. Oh, also, I guess I'll do a quick little plug here for my own coaching. If you are looking for a triathlon coach or a strength coach, nutrition coach, whatever it may be, you just want someone to talk to, that's honestly what I feel like. I'm a therapist for most of my athletes. Go ahead and shoot me an email. I'll have my email listed in the description box below. It's just Parker@NVDM Coaching, or you can message me on any of my social media. I'd love to work with you. Probably, unless you're like Sade, then you may want to look for a different coach. Joking. Anyway, then we hopped on the bike. Did 2 hours today of 2 hours at a 181 average power. Would you look at that? We're almost up to FTP. 126 average heart rate. My best performance condition was -3, although it got down to -5, I think, by the end again. So a little bit better. But 2 hours, 1 minute and 9 seconds, 181 average watts, 126 average beats per minute. And then we ran. I was only going to do 10K, but then I saw my athlete, Robert Carroll, did an hour, and I felt like I was undertraining. Oh, that brings up the point. Why is this podcast called Overtraining? I probably should have started with that. But a lot of people say I overtrain, and as you can clearly see by this week of training, I definitely do not overtrain. I've never done that before in my life, so it's kind of just sarcasm because we don't really overtrain here. Anyway, as I was saying, we ran, I was going to do 10K, but my athlete Rob ran an hour because his coach told him to, so I couldn't do less than my athletes. So I ran for 1 hour and 1 second. We ran 7.05 miles at an average heart rate of 131 and an average pace of 831. So now we're hitting 70.3 race pace. We're getting pretty quick. And then we went to the gym and we did some strength training for about half hour. I did 2 sets of 8 to 12 reps for every body part. Met a guy that I see there all the time. What was his name? I'm the worst with names. I always ask for people. That's why I come up with these gimmicks or these knickknacks for names, you know? Like Eric or Pete. No, not Pete. I think it was Eric. I'm almost positive it was Eric. But I see him there all the time. I finally introduced myself. So I met him, and then I met another young kid who asked if I did Ironmans, probably because of my Ironman tattoo. I'm very serious. I even have a tattoo to prove it. So, yeah, I got the M dot on my calf. But, yeah, he asked if I did Ironmans. I said, yeah, I do them every now and then. And I told him to watch my YouTube channel. So, hopefully, I got another subscriber. And now I am actually, I did this before. I'm filming this before the final session of the day. But every Sunday night, my favorite session of the entire week is spending time in the yard. So I'm about to go do that. For those of you that are not sure what spending time in the yard is, I guess you'll find out next week. So that'll be your little carrot to hit that subscribe and follow button. If you enjoyed this week's episode, then I would truly appreciate it if you could give this a 5-star review. That helps get this podcast out there, helps the algorithm. If there's anything specific you want to see from me, then like I said, message me, comment, whatever you want to do, get my attention, and I'll try my best to do that. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. No, like I said, no fun sauna battles, nothing else. I don't know. Mom, did I talk about everything you think?
You didn't talk much about overtraining.
That's because I don't overtrain. That's the joke. We don't do overtraining. Yeah. Yeah. But hopefully the rest of the year will be better. This will probably be. It's kind of funny that the first week of training of the year will probably be my worst week of training. I guess I'll do like overall stats for the week. I can do that. So with the 40 minutes of yard time I will have spent, I will be at 10 hours and 11 minutes of training on the week. That includes a walk too. And TSS, now take this into account. I don't really think TSS matters too much because it depends how you track it. But we have, I'll be right around 440 TSS with the ride. So take that for what it's worth. And that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll catch you next week, hopefully, if all things go well, for the second week. Yeah, so we are 15 weeks out from Ironman Texas, so it'll be week 2 of 14, or 15, in the Ironman Texas build. Yeah, with the cold. Hopefully next week I won't have a cold either.